Okay, before we get into this really quick, I need to announce a couple of things that is going to be happening with the entire analysis of both trailers and the website. In its entirety, everything after editing the trailer footage and the website footage was about 2.5 hours worth of me speaking about different aspects of the game. There's a lot of stuff to cover, but yeah, it's a little long. So what I'm going to end up doing is splitting the two videos, with the first one being the trailer analysis of both the English and Japanese trailers, and then the next video that is to come out is going to be the analysis of the website. So just to clarify, there will be two videos, not just one. Without further ado, I really do hope you enjoy. Please leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I will catch you here on the analysis. Stay tuned. Greetings, Lunarians. Welcome back to the Empire. I'm your host, Valgo Sonari. Greetings to all the Brigandine fans out there. Today is an exciting time, once again, for The Legend of Runersia. So, Brigandine fans rejoice, we're going to do a synopsis on the two trailers that are actually released right now, the English and the Japanese. And we're also going to do an in-depth analysis of the website, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoy. So the first thing that sticks out to me right away is the font. The font is the exact same as it was in the original games. Just this little tiny detail right here gives me a lot of hope, because it usually means they're going to stay true to the generics of the original games. This right here, where they're talking about a land blessed with an endless stream of mana showers. This tells me that this is probably in the future. Now, I can probably say that for a fact because I've seen the year on the website, and we'll get into that here in a second, but it definitely is in the future. So, from mana showers, I don't know what type of connection it's going to have with the previous game. Like, something happened on the other continent in the world. I'm going to assume that this is a completely different continent than Forcina, because even though Forcina seemed like a Pangea type of continent, because like when you look at the real world, you know, you have Pangea and then split off into several separate continents. I'm thinking that that's actually what's going on, instead of like Forcina being the Pangea of the world. So this is probably completely new, but is influenced in some weird way from Forcina. I have no idea. So this is I'm extremely curious about. Please let me know your comments. This symbol right here, of course, I've never seen it. Apparently, a lot of people have never seen it. If you've seen it, please let me know. But it references nothing that I can actually point to from the previous games. But I'm going to assume that this is the rune god that they are mentioning in the trailer. So hopefully the website has some lore on the actual rune god itself, or if they don't now, they'll probably get it later, because there is, I noticed, a lot of stuff that is coming soon. They have a lot of those aspects on the website, so we'll go over that here in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'm going to have to pause this very carefully right here. So it seems as if they're showcasing in order the kingdoms that are related to the said terms in order at the bottom of the screen. So apparently Justice is for the Norzalio Kingdom, Sanctity is for the Mana Cilicia Theocracy, Freedom is the Shinobi Tribe, Glory is for the Republic of the Gwanul, I think I'm pronouncing that right. And this last one I had to look up on the website because the text is kind of blocked here. It's the United Islands of Merelva, I believe. Let me check that real quick. Yes, that is correct. The United Islands of Merelva. So apparently in the game you can choose to not don one of the Brigandines, and if you choose to do so, you are left with the Gustava Empire. The Holy Gustava Empire, mind you, is led by Tim Gustav, is the leader of the nation. So I think most people are going to probably start playing with this faction right here. I can almost 100% guarantee that the majority of players will start with this one, but we shall see. It's definitely the most interesting, so let me know what you think your first faction will be in the comments below. I'd be very interested. Now this right here I did not catch in my initial reaction video because I was reading the text at the bottom about the rune god, but this is representative of the initial colors of the factions from the original games. You have red, green, yellow, purple, blue. That's New Elmikia, Caerleon, Escalio, Ezreus Empire, and Norgard. And of course, Leonia is left out. It's supposed to be represented by that that non-Brigandine faction, the Outsiders, or the what do you want to call it, the Rebels, I guess. I have no clue. So I'm highly interested on how they relate the colors to each other, if they do at all, from Forcina. So that'll be interesting. So this graphic right here It's somewhat hard to tell in certain parts, but I can already tell a Fenrir is a part of this from the classic. Also, the unicorn is clearly right there. Even the Pegasus, actually, I see wings, I think, right there in the middle. And this big beast on top, I'm not sure what to make of that one. That one kind of, sort of could represent a dragon, I suppose, but I don't think it's going to actually be a dragon. I'm not sure. It looks more like a behemoth from Final Fantasy. I have no clue, but I definitely see plenty of similarities already with this. There's a griffin right there in the back next to that rune knight. And what else do I see? I see like a deer, like a white deer at the very bottom as well. What else can I catch from this? There's a rune knight on each side, but I don't think I can catch any other monsters in this graphic. So if you see something that I don't, please, by all means, let me know. But yeah, I'm so hyped for the monsters, man. The similarities are here. They're just bringing so much over from the original games. I'm so happy about this. You have no idea. Now, of course, we've already talked about the colors in the game and stuff like that and how they're represented by the leaders, but I just had to put this screenshot up for the video. I would love to have an HD wallpaper of this graphic right here to blaze across my PC screen on both monitors. I would totally rock that, man. I just had to put that in there. Okay, anyway. Okay, this one is going to be a big one. This screenshot right here, of course, is representing the map, but the routes that we see between castles, of course, are the same as we noticed in the original games. It's a different continent, clearly, but the concept is there, obviously. So I noticed that that it doesn't seem like there's a lot of like choke points in here. It seems very much like an open battlefield to where you can come at castles from all different angles. I don't know how like the defense system is going to work, or like how many rune knights you can actually use in battle, if they're going to stick with the original 3 per battle for offense and defense, obviously, or I don't know. This has so many questions up in the air for me, but I want to look at some of these names really quick. They're all completely different. We have Sedestala, Durwan on the bottom, Shumenli, Angela, Orso, Mesa, Thien, Kachana, Warren. All these are completely different. Like, I'm very curious to see like what belongs to who. It looks like the imagining that this is like the beginning of the game and like no conquest has been taken. It seems like there may have been some battles here so far, but it seems like the green right here is occupying Meta, Fupai, Thien, Kachana. Red has Angela, Shumenli, Orso, Dorowan. Purple, Altania, Sedestala, Naliju, Zai on the far east there. Garist. It looks like the Holy Gustava Empire has the top ones. The Gowelin, Belfarum. I cannot read that top one. I cannot read that top one. If you can, please let me know. Warren, and the blue on the east, the northeast, has Lawrence, Kamelao. I can't read those other ones either. So, but you can still shout it and let me know what they are. But still, very, very awesome to see just the overworld map. The castles, I noticed, are not really that different. I can't tell like where a capital is. We know that the capitals were completely different looking in the original games, but I'm probably going to assume that we do not see the capitals at all in this graphic. So if you can pinpoint a capital or a main base of some sort, please let me know if you see any differences between the structures. So closing in on some more detail right here, we notice that we have a knight icon and a monster icon. Clearly this means that there are 1 knight and 2 monsters at Belfarum. There's 2 knights and 6 monsters at Gowelin, etc. It's pretty easily understood, but I like the fact that we can actually see that without having to go through, you know, several menus. Of course, you only had to hit 1 button, obviously, for the original games, but being able to see it right off the bat can make your decisions a lot quicker. So nice quality of life over here, in my opinion. So awesome. Okay, so this one is going to take a little bit of finesse on my part to try to screenshot every single screen on the battlefield. We noticed that we do have the original hexagonal combat. I knew that was going to be there, but still exciting to see it. So let me see if we can pinpoint some of these monsters. On the bridge, it definitely looks like a dragon, for sure. If you look at the icons, we're no longer using numbers, they're using letters, A, B, and C for each unit here. The ones with the gold around them, I'm going to assume are rune knights, and the ones without, of course, are monsters. But I don't see other similarities yet. Maybe with the winged monster in the back next to the green golden A rune knight is maybe a wyvern. I'm not entirely sure. Next screenshot right here, we have a little bit more of a UI representation. So it looks as if you have the movement reticles appearing as the rune knight is moving on the left. So the rune area, I can tell, is there with the blue outlining. If you look right, where's my mouse? Can I see it right here? Yes. If you look at this guy right here, the rune area is bordering this one right here. It goes all the way down to here, looks like, and then all the way here. So that's 3 spaces. Yeah, 3 spaces. We all love 3-space rune area, right? Hopefully that doesn't come as much of a hindrance in this version, but we shall see. I'm not sure what kind of variables rune area is going to have in this, but yeah, cool. So rune area is a go. I can already see a familiar face. This is a unicorn. Check that out. Gotta be a healer, definitely. This is a Pegasus right here, evolved form, I'm going to assume. So I really do hope that if they bring back any original monsters, which of course they have with the unicorn, that they create tier 3s for the ones that did not get tier 3s, such as a centaur, high centaur, and then the Fenrirs didn't get tier 3s, scorpions didn't get tier 3s. Lizardmen, they did when you got the item, but hopefully they have like something like a golem has, where you can use an item to evolve and then maybe evolve one more time at max level. Something like that would be really, really cool to see. But yeah, a lot of good things happening. I think I actually see some type of mantis monster back here. I'm not sure if this is representative of a scorpion or not, or if it's more like a lizard man type of thing, but it looks like a hybrid. And I think I see a centaur right here. As far as the leaders go, it seems like we have 2 different leaders that look similar, but different coloration, like the Paladin and the Avenger class was. If you look over here at this B and this C right here, they have some similarities, few differences, but it seems like they're carrying the same weapons and somewhat of the same armor, maybe even shield as well. This one doesn't seem to have a cape, this one does, but I think this is probably safe enough to say that this is like a Holy Knight class and then a Dark Knight class, whatever you want to call it. But and I also noticed that we have a monster here and here on water that is hovering, so of course you're going to be able to bring your monsters over water and hopefully maybe even get the terrain benefits. I'm not entirely sure about that though, because even though the water looks traversable by land units, I don't know if it's going to give bonuses to aquatic monsters, but I can only imagine it does. So, you know, don't quote me on that, but I'm a skeptic, so you have to forgive me. So, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be in there. A little bit more of a close-up of the same battlefield, it looks like. We can see some clear as day unicorn action going on right here with the Pegasus right here as well. I don't see any other familiar monsters though. They all seem very much new. Like this one is reminiscent of an angel sort of, but they may even call it an angel, but it's not exactly the angel, right? The angel in the original game was male, and this might be like a fairy type of monster potentially, but the wings are kind of large. So I'm going to assume they're going to call this one the angel or some type of, you know, holy seraph or something like that. So we'll see about that. The humanoid monster over here, this gorilla looking like thing, I have no idea what to even make of that whatsoever. It looks like a hunched over giant. You know what I mean? I do not know what to call that. I'll just call it a giant. So, yeah, and that's pretty much it as far as like similarities. Everything else is looking new, is looking great, by the way. And I can't wait to see like what they call some of these monsters. These monsters should appear on the website actually, so we should be getting into that here shortly, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's see if I can capture this correctly. This is clearly a spell being cast from the Ice School of Magic. I think this is Fallberg or Icefall. So let's take a look at the next screen where it breaks. Let me see here. Is this it? No, it's just getting larger. Where's the break? Where's the break? There's the there's the contact point. That's pretty awesome. But no, like it breaks in the middle and then falls. There it is. There it is. So the spikes break off and then it falls and then creates more spikes at the very bottom and hits an area, it seems, of the units. Now, as far as like friendly fire on this thing, I'm not sure, because what I'm seeing here is a knight here facing this way, and then others, of course, facing the opposite direction. So this knight facing south, these guys facing north. If there is friendly fire with like these spells, we may have to be a little bit more cautious with like, you know, the spells that we know and love, like the Geno spells and stuff like that. Because like Geno Thunder, Geno Flame, Geno Ice, or Geno Frost, sorry, never hit allies, right? It was kind of unfair at that point. But this seems like a targetable area like Geno Thunder, but as an ice spell. So yeah, look out for friendly fire. Hopefully they don't put it in there too much, because we had enough of that with Meteor Doom and trying to place it correctly. And what else was friendly fire? Yeah, like the Crybird and stuff like that with the rocks and the was it Dragon Roar? Yeah, Dragon Roar from Wyverns and stuff like that, or Kowaddles. So anyway, so this close-up I really like, because I can see more similarities from classes. The knight in front doesn't look like either a Holy Knight or a Dark Knight. It seems more like a Cavalier, which I guess would be Holy, but maybe they're branching off like to either or. If you want to go from like just a Knight class to either Dark Knight or Holy Knight, something like that. But the unit that's about to attack right here is an axe wielder. I can never say that right. Axe wielder, and is probably a Berserker class. I don't know if it's a Rune Knight though. I think it may be an actual monster, but the attack animation suggests that it's probably a Rune Knight. I'm not entirely sure. It's pretty unique, but looking forward to that. Past that, these guys with like the arms out like this, with like the Centurion hats on and stuff like that, those seem like similar to the robotic golems that we had in the original. So these are probably representative of those monsters. I can't see anything else that would be representative of that, but these guys right here. This right here looks like the Wyvern, like the closest to the Wyvern class that I've seen so far. This guy right here would be new. It seems like it's an aquatic monster, but it's a serpent, so it may be like a pre-class to maybe an evolved Hydra in this game, something like that. They may be like bouncing back some original monsters and then getting to their normal class, but be more powerful, obviously. So this seems reminiscent of a Hydra, but of course it only has one head, so I can't say for sure. This guy right here, he's completely unique. I do not know what to make of this guy. Hopefully we'll get some more information in the website later, but yeah. Let me know what you make of this guy right here, or if you've read up on it, let me know in the comments and stuff like that. So, and just because I accidentally stopped on this graphic, this is the point of contact from the axe wielder. He does like a flip in front and then comes down with the axe like that. So really cool animation, really cool graphic. I like this one a lot. Centaur confirmed. Look at that. I did not see this in the previous trailer at all, or going through some of these screenshots. I happened to pause it at just the right moment. That is a damn centaur. And attacking said centaur looks like an Avenger type of knight. So the previous knight that I was looking at looked similar, but not exactly like this guy right here. And he's doing some type of AoE whirlwind dark attack, it seems. So I think this is the Avenger class, or reminiscent of it. This is the point of contact, and we notice that there's like binding chains around the centaur, which is definitely a status effect. I can only imagine it's like reminiscent of paralysis maybe, or like some type of constraint status or stop status that like stops him for a turn, maybe two, something like that. But I wonder if that comes from that skill, but it was on there, I think, on the previous graphic. I'll double check that. But anyway, so yes, it pleases me to see that certain attacks from Rune Knights are getting status effects with their attacks, because we had a little bit of that with like the grapplers would do stun in Grand Edition, the monks would do the knockback and stuff like that. I think their what is their wave attack called? I keep forgetting that. The Piranha Wave, right? I think that did potential paralysis. I can't remember exactly, but anyways, it's nice to see more to status effects being applied with the Rune Knight attack, so I'm excited for that for sure. So, a battle on the bridge. We all love bridges, don't we? So it's taking the exact same concept as it did in the Grand Edition and the Legend of Forstuna, where ground monsters can only traverse across the bridges. They may be able to move into the water, but you can see the Pegasus right here floating above, and this looks like the Angel right here. I just noticed that. So Yeah, I'm excited to see this for sure, man. The angel class and the demon class and stuff like that, that's going to be fun. But the concepts here are the same on bridge battles. So, yeah, we'll see how bridge battles go. We all know that I love me some bridge battles, being heavily sarcastic right now. But, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, regardless of the tactical tediousness of it. So, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so if we look carefully at this particular spell, this doesn't seem exactly accurate, but I think it's reminiscent of Meteor Doom, or at least some type of targeting that is similar to it. So we have like a bunch of fireballs coming down from the sky, right? And then on the next screen, if I can get it, give me one more. There we go. That's the point of contact right there, which creates an area of effect for each meteor or fireball dropping to the ground. So friendly fire, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that seems reminiscent of Meteor Doom, or some type of like AoE fire attack that is targetable or something. So I don't know. Make whatever of it that you will. Let me know what your thoughts are. All right, this one is a really cool one. It's a little blurry, but I mean, this is clearly the grappler class that we all know and love, right? Maybe the champion class or something like that. But yeah, the animation for the fist attacks, really cool. I don't know exactly what the full thing looks like, if he does like a combo attack or whatever they did in the original games, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. There's another graphic that we can see that's zoomed out a little bit more. Let me check this real quick. There it is. Yeah, it's definitely a combo because he's attacking with his other fist in this screenshot. So damage numbers up here like we all know. But yeah, that is really cool. It seems as if the units also have a health bar. I probably should have pointed that out earlier. But yeah, they have a health bar, it looks like. So I'm excited to not have to micromanage like the numbers anymore, where I can kind of judge it by health gauge now. It makes things a little bit more quick. So yeah, looking forward to that quality of life improvement. Okay, so it's a little hard to make out what exactly is happening in this one, but one of my good friends, Frost PDP, pointed out in one of his review videos that certain attacks may be dimming the outer areas for certain attacks to be brightened up a little bit more and focused. So, which is a really cool concept, like kind of like a dynamic type of perspective, like with a camera or something like that. But yeah, I like that a lot actually, where you get to actually view what you're doing in a brighter sense and like dimming everything out. I think that's a pretty cool little feature there. And it looks like that this is a line attack of a fissure, maybe an earth elemental type of attack. That would be really cool to introduce some type of earth attacks into the game, because all we had really was like thunder attacks, fire and ice. That was pretty much it, along with, you know, holy and dark. But earth would be awesome for like the green element. So awesome, I like it. Okay, this right here gets me very excited. This is clearly, if you can look right here on the top, these are runes right here. This right here is an area effect coming from the angel class. This is holy word. This is holy word. I'm so excited. Okay, so yeah, that's holy word. Moving on. I see some more similar monsters here. Actually, one, maybe two. I think right here is going to be the Fenrir. This looks like the Fenrir. And this right here is definitely a ghoul class. Hopefully we can look forward to some Vampire Lord action, but we'll see. But yeah, that's definitely Fenrir. That's definitely ghoul. So awesome. And if you look behind the ghoul right here, this is the castle that you are invading. I'm curious if the castle might have like health. And if you take it down by health, you can maybe do a focus strategy to get the win quicker that way, maybe, instead of like focusing leaders. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, it's a really cool graphic where the knight is actually on top of it. Hopefully it heals whatever unit is on there per turn. But regardless, I like the graphic of it, and it might actually have some health. We shall see. The Fenrir in this one is blowing an ice breath attack. I love the fact that they showcased these types of attacks in the game, because it clearly is reminiscent of the previous games. Judging from what I'm seeing, the knight, yes, is on the castle, so I'm not entirely sure if the castles are going to have health. Probably not. But if there was no occupation on said castle, maybe. Who knows? Regardless, this is a really cool graphic to see as an ice breath attack from a Fenrir. It's kind of new, because we're used to like fire attacks. But yeah, we'll see what's to come of it. I'm excited for that one, man. Awesome. All right, this battle on the bridge right here, I do not know exactly what to make of it, because this looks like an evolved version of that previous green dragon that we saw on the first, the bridge graphic. I think it was the very first screenshot, actually, where the dragon was like blocking the bridge. He was on the tip of the bridge. But this one seems a lot bigger and is probably the salamander of the game, maybe, because this guy does a fire attack of some sort. Let me see if I can grab it. Yeah, so he brings down this huge ass fireball on this poor little doggy or cat or whatever the hell this is, and just completely obliterates it, it seems. But yeah, I think that this is going to be the salamander class, to be honest, and it brings it down. Where's the point of contact? Bam, there's the point of contact. Holy crap, that took up the whole screen. So yes, I think that that is going to be reminiscent of the salamander class, even though it doesn't have wings. There might be more evolutions later, but or that could actually be the red dragon variant of the original green dragon. So maybe it's a tier 2 class. So I don't know, man. There's so many questions. Let me know once again what your thoughts are below on anything and everything. So okay, those of you who have been with me for a while know that I am a huge music buff. I even have covers that I have done for like Chrono Cross and Final Fantasy on my channel, little tiny penal things. But anyway, I want to talk about the composer on this graphic right here. Music by Tenpei Sato. This guy has worked on a lot of the Nippon Ichi software games, which is Phantom Brave. You have, I think Makai Kingdom is on here, and also the Prinny games. There's also the Disgaea games as well. But more importantly, this guy also did Grand Edition. The same composer is coming back from Grand Edition to do this one. I am ecstatic that people are coming back from the original games to work on this game. This graphic is representing all the voice actors and actresses associated with each country. If you see any familiar names right here, please let me know in the comments below. I'm not going to go over it right now. But yes, if there's anything notable, please let me know, and then we will have a discussion about what their previous works have been, and if there's any notable names in this whatsoever. So yeah, let me know. That will conclude the synopsis of the first English trailer. This is going to be available spring 2020. I think that is going to be the English release. I can't be certain on that. We may find out more information on the website here in a second, but yeah, I don't want to assume, but yeah, here it is on an English trailer with subtitles, Japanese narration, obviously, but everything was in English. This is the English subtitle, Legend of Runersia as well, so maybe I'm warranted in assuming that it is going to be available spring 2020. That means I'm going to have to bounce back and forth between Final Fantasy Remake and Brigandine. Whoa. Okay, moving on to the Japanese trailer. This one has a lot more detail, and I'm excited to confirm a few things here for you guys. So the first graphic is the continent of Runersia. We see some similarities from the original game, looking at this serpent down here. I have no clue if this is representative of Jormungandr or not, but this was included in the previous game. There's a random wyvern dragon monster up here. I have no clue what this represents at all. This might represent the Gustava Empire, the Holy Gustava Empire in some shape or form. Maybe not. I have no clue. Runersia is spelled out in nice, neat little letters down here. I like the font. And the continent itself, it has some similarities to Forcina. It's not Forcina, let's be honest. It's not Forcina, but it does have some similarities. Look at the eastern side. There's a huge mountain range right here. There was a huge mountain range in Forcina, or on Forcina, that was blocking the country of Leonia, as you all know. And this spot, after some time has passed, is the Escalio region, I suppose, that got branched off from the continent. It's kind of unlikely that happens within a few hundred years. I think about 500 is the time span. But yeah, there are some similarities here, and I think this up here is the what do you call it? The isolation tribe, the Gustava Empire. So I think that this is what is representative of that tribe here. I don't think that a tribe exists here, but I believe that the trailer eventually shows us a graphic representing the countries. Let me take a look real quick. I have no clue. I'm holding tape right now. Go away. No, I was in fact wrong. The Holy Gustava Empire is the very top one. It's actually looks like the biggest one, actually, because I think the clouds are blocking some landmass there. But yeah, the Gustava Empire seems to be the biggest one. The isolated one is the Norzalian Rosalio Empire, something like that, the blue. But yeah, we can see the representation of said factions here, and the islands do belong to a faction, which I think is the Mazurna, the islands of something. I forget what they called it. We'll find out later. But yeah, this is the separation of countries. So I love the fact they put this in here to show us where we will be starting, depending on what faction we choose to do. So yeah, man, awesome graphic. I like this. This right here is in mid-battle, probably beginning of the battle, where they're sharing dialogue back and forth between two different leaders. We saw a lot of that in the original games. I'm not sure if the dialogue is going to be like continue. You know what would be really cool if it like if it continued dialogue based on like how many times like the same leaders met in battle. Like say for example, if like Lance and Zemeckis met in battle several times, which they did of course in our playthroughs. If they shared different dialogue or progressing dialogue as we met each time, that would be really cool if they put something like that in here. But this is definitely beginning battle, sharing dialogue, or it could be no, it's definitely beginning, because I don't see any conflict right here. So yeah, this is beginning battle dialogue for sure. So okay, anyway, moving on. This character, which was depicted in the dialogue box, is Rubino, the leader of the Norzalio Empire. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. Norzalio Empire, correct? Yes, it is the Norzalio Empire. Okay, anyway, he is casting the same spell that we saw in the previous trailer, that same Ice Fall spell. So check it out really quick. There's the channeling right here. I can see runes around the actual caster. That's pretty cool that they're using rune power to cast magic. And here is the same spell, the Icefall spell, in an area. I'm not sure what the area is. It should show me, whoops, it should show me damage numbers, I think. No, it's not showing me numbers. Okay, it seems as if it's not contacting with these 3 units back here, but just these 5. I think it was 5. But anyways, I would like to see some numbers to clarify. But in any case, really, really cool stuff. And yeah, moving on to the next graphic. This right here is a really cool graphic of the Holy Gustava Empire with the leader and a couple of more officers. Yeah, I'm excited to see like the lore in the website later on in this video, so definitely stay tuned for that. That's probably going to be the highlight of the entire thing, to give more clarity on basically everything that we can so far. There are a lot of coming soon things on the website itself, so as they get updated, I will notify people in the Discord server. So if you are not a part of our Brigandine Discord server, please join that. It is in the description below. We would love to have anyone that is willing to come along. And also there is a fan site that Veracity Trigger is running. He is another Brigandine player as well within his channel. I will leave the links to his channel below, along with the website that he is running, that the community is gathering. We're getting new members in there every day since he started it, and definitely now more that a new Brigandine game has been announced, man. So yeah, it's growing like wildfire. I'm very excited for that. So this right here is the first status screen that I got to see. So I was really excited to finally see some in-depth detail of the mechanics and the UI of the status screens of each leader. I'm assuming they're going to have this for each monster as well. So from what I can make sense of, leveling over here, this might be an experience bar right here, or maybe even a health bar. Of course, this is the faction flag over here. On the right side is all the stats. This is pretty obvious what this is. The power is what confuses me the most. I think down at the very bottom is experience gain, but this power right here, I'm not exactly sure what that represents. I don't think it can be rune power whatsoever, because the cost of the monsters I notice in later screens that you'll see here in a bit are very similar to like the cost of the original game monsters. So I highly doubt that they gave him 2094 rune power to work with monsters, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong about that. Down here where the elemental colors are, this may be the affinity of him, and then maybe the resistances and stuff like that. I'm not sure what both columns are. It looks like attack and defense potentially. Sword and shield, it has to be attack and defense, I would say. So apparently he hits with 3 white orbs and 3 dark orbs, and resists more light than dark as well, but does not have any affinity towards the red, green, or blue. So very interesting that they doubled up like this and had it as more than, what, 3 orbs? It was 3 orbs for the max amount of orbs you could hold with any given unit in the original game. So the fact that we have a ton more here makes me think that we can like swap and compile this however we want to. Maybe we can change the affinity with each leader or monster, depending. Or maybe we can't, but it would be really, really cool if we could change the resistances and the offensive capabilities of the elements. That would be awesome. I think the rune power is depicted right here under agility. It makes the most sense out of the numbers that I'm seeing, because other numbers, for a leader at least, I think this is the actual leader of the country, doesn't make sense for it being like this low for these characteristics right here, like 155, 108, 101. That cannot be the rune power. Hell, it might even be this 344 down here, because he is the leader at level 24. I do not know what the max level is in this game, but yeah, 344 is probably the rune power. 6 is probably the rune area. They would definitely make sense to be right next to each other. This 1 through 7, that might be reminiscent of movement. I'm not sure why it's so widespread. Maybe if he's like adjacent to a unit and he has to like get away or go to the side, it's only 1. But 7 being the max, obviously. So I'm not sure why it's so widespread like that. We'll find out later, obviously, but yeah. Cool. All right, moving on to the next graphic. So they've moved on to the next tab up here from the 3 tabs that we have with the shoulder buttons. The second tab, it seems, is depicting his class leveling and mastery. So he's mastered this class, whatever this class is. It seems to be a unique class because of the leader of the country. But these seem to be his spell rosters. We have the Hex targeting range and also the MP cost as well. So this is definitely the spell roster. And this right here represents what the target is for each spell, how it targets. So it's really cool to actually see the hexagonal graphic instead of like guesstimating how it actually works from seeing, okay, this is going to have a 3 hex range. Okay, how is it cast? What do you do with it? It's very simplistic the way they did this. So I like the fact that they put the hexagonal grid there to represent the actual spell. That's a nice touch. So this graphic right here is a summoning of a monster. Now the star on the very top, I'm going to assume that that is rank, tier rank. So level 1 rank, not evolved. I can only imagine that they're going to increase the number of stars depending on the rank of the monster. So level 10 would be 2, level 20 would be 3 potentially, but maybe. I have no clue. So, but that's what I gather from this actual graphic, that this is a normal monster being summoned at level 1, rank 1, tier 1. And after the monster summoning, they have a beautiful showcase of what we all know and love about the organization screen with inside castles. Your leaders are on the left, slotting rune monsters on the right with the cost beneath them. Their levels are right there as well. You can see the rune capacity right here as well. This actually confirms it. See, look at this. This was the rune power for the leader, 344, and his rune area was definitely 6. So that confirms that. But yeah, this is bare bones, man. This is what we all know and love. I can't wait. I can't wait to like spend hours inside these screens. I really can't. So let's look at some of the graphics on like the thumbnail shots or whatever from these monsters. We have, looks like centaurs right here at cost 35. That already confirms that, doesn't it? This 60 is a griffin. It was 55 in the original, but that's definitely a griffin. This Colossus or Golem is 45 cost. Golems were cost 45 in the previous games. This 85 is an angel. Angels were 85. They're keeping the same cost as well. This is ridiculous. These two right here. Okay, so these two right here look like the Hydra monsters that I was describing earlier, but this is new. I could sort of relate this to a lizard man maybe, but they were always either 30 or 35 depending on the version you were playing. And this seems like an evolved version of this monster, definitely. I don't think there's a question about that. But yeah, this might be like a new sea creature or reminiscent of the Hydra. I haven't seen a Hydra yet, so that would be really interesting to see eventually. But now, if we look at the comparison between this griffin and this one right here, this is clearly the evolved version of this griffin. It doesn't seem like a holy griffin, but the cost is the same as a holy griffin, 85. At level 10, it evolves. We're getting everything from the original games, guys. This is ridiculous. I absolutely am in love. So this level 10 is at 100. I do not know what to make of this one, actually. It seems like a dragon monster. I definitely cannot say it is a Bahamut for sure at all, because Bahamut was level 20. But Take your best guess. Let me know what you think. But we have so many similarities within this monster roster here. Here is the stock right here. We can see the same type of monsters. Here's an interesting thing I just noticed. Sorry, I'm way too excited. The level 10 Griffin. This is different than this one. So they made it to where you can take the original Griffin and branch off into 2 different monster styles, like you could with the original Green Dragon and stuff like that. So I can only imagine that they did more of this with all of the monsters, and even gave like centaurs and high centaurs tier 3 trees as well. I can almost guarantee that they put in a monster tree, like evolution tree, where if you like unlock a certain monster at tier 2, it will show you, okay, so here's your basic, and you branch off into 2 different aspects. Here is the red Griffin, here's the purple Griffin, or whatever the hell that is, and it has like question marks on what they can become as well. Maybe they have it set up to where like each basic monster goes into 2 tiers, and then those tiers go into 2 separate tiers each. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 total variations of one monster. That would be so sick and like so time consuming, but that's the fun, right? I cannot wait to delve into this and figure that out. I want to know if that is true. That would be so awesome. The only other monster that I'm looking at here that are different, well, 2 actually, the dog monsters here. This is the Fenrir, not the Fenrir, the Hellhound. So it's not exactly a lookalike, but it's definitely the Hellhound at cost 35. You can't deny that. This level 20. No way, that's the vampire. That is the Vampire Lord. It's probably not exactly the Vampire Lord, but that comes from the Ghoul class. It's level 20, tier 3, and it's cost level 70, which was the cost of the Vampire Lord in the original games, right? But it's probably called a Lich, but that is the Vampire Lord. I guarantee you. Wow, I didn't think I would catch it, but no, it's there. It is right there. Fight me about it, I dare you. Okay, back to the world map real quick. We have an invasion notification. Obviously, when you attack another castle, this will pop up here, but the graphic actually shows, I think, an arrow going from one castle. Yeah, see right here, it's jutting from this castle to this castle. And I think the arrow stays the same color as who is invading as well. I do not know what this number up here means. Maybe it has something related to mana. Maybe the no, it definitely isn't, because I'm noticing up here that is a quad 9. That is mana. That right there is mana. This right here is the year. See, confirmed. This is 500 plus years in the future, by the way, if it's sticking to the same universe, which I can only imagine it is. And this right here might be the castle. No. That's turn. That is turn. So yeah, that's turn. Anyways, so that's year, that's days, that is mana cap. I have no clue what this is. But yeah, if you have any idea what like this is right here on top of each castle, it shows maybe the strength of like everything combined together. You know what? I bet that's what it is. I bet that is the power that we were looking at in that leader's graphic, the status screen, where I didn't know what the power meant, the 2094 value. I think that is the power level of everything combined together attacking said power level. That has to be power level. That's power level. Fight me again. Yeah, see right here, this next screenshot, I didn't even look at it before, but this confirms it right here. This is the power level of this guy's unit entirely. This is the entire power of this girl's unit and this guy's unit, and it equals out to be this power level. Yeah, you don't have to fight me, don't worry about it. That's power level, clearly. That's so awesome. I love the representation of power level. I think it's really cool. This graphic is freaking amazing. It's not exactly what I was thinking before. I was thinking Divine Ray. It actually might be Divine Ray, but this is a Holy Knight or a Paladin bringing down a Celestial Sword onto a monster. So if it's not Divine Ray, it's definitely relating to Divine Ray. There might be 2 separate spells. This actually might be an ability that is not actually magic, an ability like specific to the Paladin itself. They might have delved deeper into the combat system where they're not like using just magic for certain classes. They might give certain classes specific abilities that no one ever knew before. So that is probably a specific ability to that class. That looks really cool. I love the graphic of that. That is awesome. And there's the point of contact right there. Really, really cool, man. I am going to dig this so much. So here's a new graphic right here that is defending a point on 2 bridges. We have a leader of some sort walking up to an evolved dragon. I guarantee that that is a unevolved dragon. And I think it's probably a branch as well. I think, remember that the red dragon that we saw in the English trailer? I think that this right here is a variant of the original green dragon that we saw earlier that was smaller, and it branches off into 2 different tiers, maybe even 3, who knows. But that's different because of the coloration difference. It's the same shape and style, but yeah, that's completely different than the red dragon that we saw earlier. So we have like a white purpley dragon with a red dragon that breathed fire. So this guy might have a different element, I can only assume, but we'll see. But really, really cool. The other monster that I'm noticing is, or the other 2 monsters, should I say, are these gremlin-looking guys with swords. Never seen this before. This is definitely new. And these floating things right here, I have no clue what this is supposed to represent. But yeah, those are completely different. But yeah, really, really cool to showcase some of the dragon monsters. Not seeing any wings yet, but then again, we haven't. I don't think we have seen a tier 3 dragon yet. I think this is just tier 2. And there's the breath attack right there. It looks like it definitely is fire. It might be some type, it might have like a holy element attached to it, but that's definitely fire. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is 4 spaces away. That is reminiscent of the red dragon variant of the green dragon evolution. So you know, you had red dragon and white dragon, but that's the red dragon variant from the original games. And I guarantee that we're going to get 5 spaces when that MFer levels up to 20. I guarantee we'll get 5 spaces. Okay, look at this monster that is currently acting. Look me in the eye and tell me that that is not a Loki. That is a Loki. It's not a Thor. It's a Loki with the black armor and the axe. I don't think he didn't have an axe in the previous versions, but this is a Loki. I guarantee it. Watch how this move continues. This is an AoE attack, clearly. And look at the damage numbers fly off on different targets here. That is absolutely insane. He hits everything in that that circle radius, which was kind of reminiscent of the Thor hammer attack in the original game. They got rid of it in the Grand Edition, but yeah, stuff like this, that is Loki. That is definitely a Loki. Anyway, I've said Loki too much. Let's move on. On this graphic right here, there's only like one thing that I wanted to point out, which is way up here, up in BFE. This is the green dragon variant that we saw earlier. A little bit more of a clearer picture of it, but that is the first class that evolves into those previous dragons that we saw, breathing those units on the bridge. That's tier 1. The previous one was tier 2. No question. Speaking of said green dragon tier 1, he is here leveling up to level 10. About to class up, obviously, but the status increase, you can see everything that we are used to seeing when you level up said monster with the random number generators on each stat. So whatever the min-max values, they probably have changed min-max values on all units, but yeah, it's right here and you can see it in green numbers. I'm so excited for that too. So nice quality of life stuff here, but a fantastic graphic when you do actually level up. So beautiful. I absolutely love it. Okay, so right here is the very next screen that appears after he leveled up to 10. It shows that he has mastered the class of the tier 1 dragon, I suppose. It's a different color here though, but it's the same type of model, I believe, unless it's a different coloration that you can choose between. I'm not exactly sure. Let me look at the next screen and see if it gives me more clarity. But yeah, that's pretty cool, where it shows you when you have mastered said class. That is awesome. Okay, here's another example right here. This is the Lizard Guard. This is definitely the Lizard Guard. If we look at this monster right here, this is what is selected. I didn't even catch this the first time, but this is definitely the Lizard Guard. He has the shield right here, and I believe he does have an axe. Let me back up to the actual screen that showed the whole battlefield, and let me see if I can pinpoint an axe really quick. Okay, I can't actually tell if it is an axe or not. It doesn't really show that well, but if you can pinpoint what it is just by looking here at this little tiny graphic behind the screen, let me know what your thoughts are, please. But this is definitely the Lizard Guard, or reminiscent of the Lizard Guard. So excited to see if they're going to bring back the Lizard King. right? And if it requires an item or something like that. So, but then again, I still think that they're going to have branches for each evolution class, whether it's leader or monster. I think they put the leader concept class trees into the monster, or into more of the monster classes from tier 1. And that concludes the segment of the Japanese trailer, guys. If you want to see the Japanese trailer in its entirety, I will leave a link in the description below, because there is more to see with like animations and cutscenes and stuff like that that I haven't gone over. But I just wanted to hit up the most important parts so I can get to the website. So that will give us some more clarity. But yeah, if you want to see that, link is in the description. Enjoy. All right, Brigandine fans, that's going to do it for the first half of my analysis series here, mini-series if you want to call it that. The next video is the analysis of the website. I have it here ready to go, and we can catch that here in about a day. So I want to split it up a little bit so you guys have a chance to watch the analysis on the trailers. So maybe a day, maybe 2 days, depending. So if you want it early, just let me know, and I will go ahead and upload it. So, but in any case, I really do hope that you enjoyed the trailer analysis and look forward to the website analysis. Very well, Brigandine fans. Peace.